Hi, my name is Layla, and I learned this lesson about love so that you don't have to. The hardest thing I learned about my last relationship wasn't even about him. It wasn't about what he did wrong, wasn't about all the red flag. It wasn't even about the ending. The mistake was about how long I stayed after I felt unsafe. And I want to talk about this because there's a good chance that someone watching this might have experienced this too, or might be experiencing it, even if you don't have words for it. So here's something I wish someone told me earlier. A lot of people don't actually stay in relationships because they're happy. They stay because they've learned to override themselves. They stay because love is supposed to be hard. Sacrifice is noble. But there is a difference between sacrificial love and self-abandonment. One builds life and one slowly erodes it. It's like true love versus distortion. I didn't leave when my body was tense constantly. I didn't leave when my shoulders were always tight. I would have stomach issues. My stomach would drop before difficult conversations. My hair started falling out. I lost weight. When I felt like I had to rehearse in order to bring anything up or decide if something was worth addressing or just keeping to myself, I stayed and I told myself this is just what love feels like sometimes. But looking back, I was overriding the signals that my intuition and my nervous system was actually giving me. And I don't believe those signals are random either. Your body was designed to guard your life and get you out of danger. Also, a lot of us confuse intensity with connection. We confuse anxiety with chemistry. We call passion a lot of tension. We think emotional unpredictability is depth. So when our nervous systems are constantly activated, we assume that means something meaningful is happening. Peace is often the presence of truth. And what I've found is that peace comes when you finally are truthful with yourself. And the truth doesn't shout, it doesn't manipulate, it doesn't keep you in a constant state of confusion. So here's the realization that shifted everything for me. Love does not require you to override yourself. It doesn't ask to silence your inner warning signals. It doesn't demand that you constantly are having to manage someone else's emotions. And it doesn't leave you chronically depleted. The kind of love that actually heals, it doesn't pull you away from yourself and make you have to dissociate from yourself. It brings you home back to yourself. It's when you can look in someone's eyes and you feel settled. And when I stopped explaining and justifying my discomfort away and I started to listen to it and the little whispers of my intuition, things started to become more clear. I slowly, and this was very hard for me, stopped chasing clarity from the people who were creating confusion for me. I stopped confusing longing with alignment. Like, oh, this person's right for me and I don't want to miss this timing. And I stopped believing that love is something I have to suffer through and earn. And then over time, something really beautiful happened. My standards became a lot more clear, not harsher, just more clear. My boundaries got cleaner and my relationships became calmer, friendships and partnerships, because safety doesn't kill love and a lack of that intensity doesn't mean that there's no love. Safety allows love to breathe and flourish and be nourished. If you're watching this and thinking, I'm always tired in my relationship, I feel like I'm constantly adjusting myself and having to mother this person, I don't feel at rest, but I can't explain why, I want you to consider listening to what your emotions and your intuition is actually truly saying and giving yourself space for that. Taking rest isn't being lazy because we weren't meant to live in constant strain. And love that reflects truth doesn't really demand your exhaustion and you to abandon yourself. It actually invites your presence, and presence really only comes whenever you feel safe. So the hardest lesson I learned was not about him. It was about how long I stayed, how many times I ignored my body after it was already answering the question that I was so confused about. So I've come to believe this. Anything that pulls you away from yourself, from feeling safe, from peace, from truth, might not be in alignment with what is actually made for you. And if you're always exhausted in love, something important might be trying to communicate with you. And you shouldn't ignore it. Even if it's just exploration, at least give it space. Anyway, if you like these videos, I love making them. Please leave your thoughts and subscribe for more. Bye.